It looks like a Volkswagen from the front, Tiguan R-Line and latest T-Roc maybe, but the headlights look awfully similar to the Audi RS5. A station wagon from the side, probably they designed this as a Grand Vitara 7-seater, and the Tata Curve from the rear. But aren't the taillights very much like the Kia EV6? Say hello to the Grand Vitara, but not from Nexa, but from Arena, and thus a new name, the Victoris, which means victory in Latin. Maruti is like, we will declare this car as a success even before launch. But it's 15 mm longer and 10 mm taller than the Grand Vitara, but the wheelbase and the width are identical as both cars are based on the Suzuki tech platform. This Victoris isn't the flagship Maruti, it is actually the flagship car from Arena and thus comes with a lot of unique features. Like for instance, in the SCNG variant, it gets a factory fitted underbody fuel tank and thus the boot space isn't affected. And thus it easily fits in my Tommy Hilfiger McKinley hard luggage, which is available in 3 sizes. I am carrying the mid and cabin size luggages today. Featuring branded lining and secure elastic straps, the McKinley series features smart compartments and is made of durable and high quality materials. With its stylish design, smooth telescopic handle, side protection guards and 360-degree spinner branded wheels, the Tommy Hilfiger McKinley hard luggage comes with TSA approved locks and a 5-year warranty. You can get yours at all leading e-commerce marketplaces, Bagline stores and bagline.com. Check the link in the pinned comment as well as the description to know more. Coming back to the Victoris, it shockingly misses out on a spare wheel, but Maruti has given it a tire inflator instead. I guess that has been done to counter the added weight of this car, which has been done in the interest of safety. The Victoris gets 5-star safety rating from Bharat NCAP, and it gets 6 airbags as standard along with level 2 ADAS with 10 features. The first Maruti car with such a feature, and because it comes equipped with so many features, there are very less dummy buttons here. A rare sight because Maruti has been smart enough to give physical buttons to turn off ADAS. Sweet! This Victoris is the most loaded Maruti car because it gets ventilated front seats, 8-way powered driver's seat, keyless entry on both the front doors, push button start, new steering wheel with buttons, powered tailgate with gesture control, wireless phone charger with active cooling fans, 64 color ambient lighting, 8 speaker Infinity sound system with Dolby Atmos, (10.25-inch instrument cluster, heads-up display, 10.1-inch Smart Play Pro X infotainment system which has an integrated app store with more than 35 apps. But the UI makes it feel aftermarket and not fluid to use. 360-degree parking camera with 11 views, front and rear parking sensors, downhill assist in the all-wheel drive, wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, auto-dimming IRVM, which is the first Arena car to get such a feature, panoramic sunroof, which is different from the Grand Vitara as both glass panels open here while only one opens in the Grand Vitara. Climate control AC with physical buttons including for volume adjustment, PM 2.5 air filter with auto purify mode, UV cut glass, height adjustable front seat belts, damped handles, vanity mirrors on the sun visors with lights, tire pressure monitor, ISOFIX child seat mounts, electric parking brake, auto hold function and rear wiper washer. The Victoris is a practical car. It has big door pockets both at the front and rear. There's storage in the center console and under the sliding armrest, magazine pockets behind the front seat back, and there's a sunglass holder too. The rear seat experience is good too, as there's good amount of legroom, but footroom is compromised due to the placement of the battery below the front co-passenger seat in the mild hybrid variant. Under-thigh support is average and the headroom isn't great for tall passengers like me. You do get a center armrest with twin cup holders, rear AC vents and 45-watt fast-charging USB-C charging sockets at the rear. The center passenger also gets a proper headrest, but the seat doesn't recline and it's a bit too upright, although it can be folded in 60/40 format to boost luggage carrying capacity further. But certain things could be better. The key is too old and basic. High time Maruti changed it. The switchgear is the same as it was 20 years ago when the Swift was first launched. Rear sunshade is missing here, which is there in the Grand Vitara. There are plenty of hard plastics on the dashboard and doors, but there's soft touch material along with piano finish pattern in between. The roof liner is cheap and moves if you push it. The power window switches aren't illuminated. While all the exterior lights are LEDs, all the cabin lights aren't LEDs but halogens. There is no cooled glove box. There is an exposed blower below the glove box. While the 215/60/17 tires are decent sized, they feel a bit small and make the car look under-tired. I don't like the design of the alloy wheels either. The fog lamps are placed too high up. The rear indicators are too small and not visible. But the biggest issue of this car are the engines. I haven't seen this much empty space in any engine bay ever. Anyways, let's start driving right away. Alright, it's time to start driving. Let's turn on the car. Oh, makes this welcome sound. Air conditioning is at full blast. Let's turn it off. And if you notice one thing, the heads-up display came out. It says hello there. Thank you so much. Straight away, let's come into drive mode and let's turn off the traction control. And as soon as I turn off the traction control by holding this button for 5 seconds, it also turns off ESP. ESP turns off, and it also turns off automatic emergency braking and lane keep assist too. And now we are straight away going to test the 0 to 100 km/h acceleration of this car. I'm simply going to turn on the camera by pressing a button, which I'm confused. Where is it? Yeah, it's somewhere here. 360-degree camera. There should have been a physical button there. Left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator. Revving the motor. Rev still around 2,200 RPM, and off we go. Oh, camera turned off. Upshift under 6,000 RPM, almost 6,000 RPM. And I don't think I'm going to reach 100 km/h because the car's acceleration is not that fast. So I have to apply brakes here, obviously. Now this is the mild hybrid, which gets a 12-volt mild hybrid system. No, there is no 48-volt here, unfortunately. So that's not a big battery in this car, and that's the reason why performance isn't that impressive with a hybrid system here. But again, I am not complaining because we know how this engine is. This is the K15C engine, which, as the name suggests, is actually a dual jet motor which has decent grunt, because firstly it's super refined, it's super duper damn freaking smooth, but that's it. The performance is extremely linear here. Okay, let's do some water splashing. Oh yes, and that is a lot of spray coming out from the wipers as well. The wipers are good. I'm confused where to go because there's a truck or a, I don't know what that is. It's towing a JCB. JCB Kudai not happening today. Anyways, performance is smooth and linear. There's no punch as such because there's not much grunt from this motor. The horn is good. Not actually very good. You heard that right? It could have been better because the horn feels and sounds a bit meek. You need that wind-tone horn from Skoda cars to really scare people silly, but that's not happening here. Anyways, like I was saying, the performance is actually not that impressive. Doesn't have the grunt or the pushback like a turbo petrol engine, so feels a bit meek in terms of acceleration, and that's a little disappointing because I expected a car costing this price obviously to be better in the way it responds, but simply this car does not, and that is kind of unfortunate because we only have 103 horsepower and 139 Newton meters of torque, which honestly isn't much. Cars at this price are offering much more because of turbo power, and there is no replacement for turbo, and being NA, it struggles. But around the corners, it washes the front end out very fast because there is understeer, and understeer comes in very quickly. Thankfully though, this car is easy to drive. It feels light and you can make a quick overtake, like a U-turn like that, and it centers also fast enough, which is nice. So yes, in terms of driving feel and the handling, it's quite nice because handling is actually neutral. The steering weighs up at high speeds, body roll is there, but it's well contained, and this chassis is actually good enough. However, it needs more power, more punch, more performance. The thing is, there isn't much output here, and this automatic gearbox, which is a 6-speed unit, a torque converter, it saps power even further, and that's the reason why this car doesn't feel that sprightly, doesn't feel that fun to drive. It's not enthusiastic in any freaking way. And let's do the brake test. Brakes are good, yaar. Actually, it has got rear discs as well. And and that obviously helps. But overall braking is actually good here. I just expected this car to be better in terms of performance because that is the only issue here. The engine simply does not have the grunt, doesn't feel punchy enough. This K15C dual jet 4-cylinder engine needs more performance, period. The mild hybrid system is just assisting in stop-start system. That's it. It doesn't really give a torque boost here, and 103 horsepower is nothing at the end of the day. But around the corners, look at the front end making sound. The tire screeching in protest because I'm pushing it way more than this car is capable of taking corners. It's not really a high-speed cornering machine. And then when I go into the throttle, it just does not respond. The problem is that majority of the torque comes in higher end of the rev range, and that really makes performance suffer. So lower end, not that impressive. Very progressive, very linear power delivery. How fast does it go from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour is something I'm going to find out right away, because left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator, revving the motor, and off we go. Come on! Gearbox is smooth, yeah, but it's very sluggish, it's very slow. And 0 to 100 kilometers per hour, come on, we're still going. Will we reach? Come on. Oh yes, in 15 seconds, 15.41 seconds. That is very, very slow. Trust me on it, the manual is way better. It's peppier, definitely. It feels more punchy to drive. However, it's a 5-speed. At this price, 5-speed, really, we need a 6-speed gearbox. But that's not happening, unfortunately. In terms of efficiency, yes, this is good. So this particular engine is available with a 5-speed manual, a 6-speed automatic gearbox. There are paddle shifters, which not going to save the day because of the lack of grunt here. And it is also available with all-wheel drive. And the all-wheel drive here happens to be paired to our automatic gearbox. Earlier with the Grand Vitara, it used to come with a manual, but now it's only available with an automatic, even with the Grand Vitara, that is. And that all-wheel drive system actually has a lock mode wherein you can distribute 50% power to the front and rear axle, which makes it capable off the road to a certain extent. Ground clearance, I think around 210 mm. It's decent, it's not bad. With that ground clearance also, the dynamics are actually good enough. So it handles well, the ride is good, but the only unfortunate part is that this car simply does not have the kind of grunt you would expect from a chassis which is that good, and a steering which is decent enough in terms of responsiveness. Engine becomes very vocal. When I'm in manual mode like I am right now, it will not upshift unless and until I decide to do so, giving me complete manual control of things. That's nice. It really starts to struggle past 100 kilometers per hour. In fact, I honestly feel this engine is tuned only for efficiency. And in terms of efficiency, it is claimed to return 21 kilometers per liter. Meanwhile, the all-wheel drive returns around 19 kilometers per liter, and there's a CNG as well, which obviously is very well packaged. That CNG produces just 87 horsepower and 121.5 Newton meters of torque. Again, not much. Come on, downshift. It's best to keep it in drive mode and not in manual mode, because it simply does not respond only. It's not responsive. And come on, around the corners, I am waiting for the engine to kick in with some performance. It simply does not do that. Maruti is making fantastic cars with a lot of features, but it's not the Maruti we know, which used to make enthusiastic cars like, say, the Zen, the OG Baleno, and all those cars which definitely had a lot of grunt, a lot of punch, and a lot of performance as well, fun to drive and all that. No, this one is simply not, because it just does not respond. Okay, the CNG is very efficient. I think it returns around 27 kilometers per kg, which is good. So if you want efficiency, there's no diesel, so there's the CNG. In fact, what is this guy doing coming the wrong way? This car has a 45-liter fuel tank capacity, which is also decent enough, and high-speed stability is good. It's actually quite glued to the road, so dynamics are good. I don't know how Maruti is doing such great chassis balance, because the ride is actually very impressive. Almost every Maruti car really rides well. It's able to absorb the most bumps in its stride without much hesitation, so it's very good in terms of bump absorption. It's very good in terms of overall insulation as well. Little wind noise coming from the A-pillar, but other than that, really very smooth, very refined here. And if you honestly want to buy this car, just get the strong hybrid, which is a 1.5 liter unit. Again, 1.5 liter displacement, but it's a Toyota strong hybrid system from Toyota. That one produces slightly more power. That's about it. Not much of a difference there, but we're going to launch the car again. Hopefully it will do better in terms of 0 to 100 km per hour acceleration time. Here, hazard lights on. Let's turn this, reset it. Left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator, hazard lights off, and off we go. This time we are going to see if it is any faster from 0 to 100 km per hour. Hopefully it does better. The problem is Maruti is not even trying to extract more from this engine, because they could have given it drive modes. There could be a sport mode which would give it more punch, but no, that's not the case. And then there's low torque, and then torque is coming very higher up in the rev range, and that really bogs it down. 15.87 seconds, so around 15.5 seconds is the best 0 to 100 km per hour acceleration of this car, which is slow. Honestly, it just doesn't feel fast enough. With the all-wheel drive, it becomes slower still because of the added weight of the all-wheel drive system. Meanwhile, the CNG is available with a manual only, and I think Maruti should just focus on selling the strong hybrid because that is really efficient. Agreed that the strong hybrid is a 3-cylinder engine, but in spite of having just 3 freaking cylinders, it is assisted by the battery, which is not a very big battery. It's a 0.76 kilowatt hour battery pack, lithium ion, and that's placed in the boot, so that obviously robs the boot space and eats into it. But you have eco, normal and power modes there, which is nice. The problem is the ECVT gearbox. Because it gets an ECVT gearbox now, it just isn't very responsive, and then the engine is on its own tune and the gearbox is on its own tune, and that's the reason the strong hybrid isn't that great to drive, but at least performance is better. So the engine alone makes 92 horsepower and 122 newton meters of torque. Meanwhile, the electric motor produces 79 horsepower and 141 newton meters of torque, and the combined output is just 115 PS of power. But the real highlight is the claimed fuel efficiency, 28.65 kilometers per liter, which is absolutely insane, and it can work on pure EV mode till 120 kilometers per hour, which is absolutely insane. There's no reverse in the strong hybrid. It actually is the motor which goes into reverse to go backwards. So again, there isn't focus on torque there in the strong hybrid. The focus is on power, which is usually not the case with any electric motor whenever it's involved. So that way it spins faster, giving you higher punch, higher up of the rev range. And this car is E20 compatible. You guys keep asking me about E20. Obviously, it is compatible with E20 because this car was launched after 2023, and all cars after 2023 are E20 compatible. The problem is, you'll buy it with E20 compatibility today, and tomorrow all the fuel will become E27. So that can become a big hiccup. And now there is no fast tag, so I need to figure out how to cross this toll booth. Haan bhaiya, batao.
One eternity later.
Okay, after spending almost half an hour trying to figure this out and paying double the toll, I am finally out and off we go. Come on! Yeah, if you think that only the E20 is a scam, well, the FASTag is an equal scam because they're charging double the toll. Why? Come on, give us freedom! It takes more time with the FASTag than you used to take with cash earlier. Anyways, 3 years, 1 lakh kilometer warranty on this car. Earlier, Maruti used to offer 2 years, 40,000 kilometer warranty, and then once they started working with Toyota, obviously they started giving a better warranty, which is fantastic. So what will be the price of this car? Well, the Grand Vitara is priced between 13.33 lakhs to 24.24 lakhs on road Mumbai. But the price of the Grand Vitara is obviously going to change because there have been some changes with respect to GST. And obviously this car is going to undercut the Grand Vitara, but the Grand Vitara will get all the updates which this car has, like ADAS and all those things. Facelift is due anytime soon, because of which the Grand Vitara will obviously continue to be the flagship car from Maruti Suzuki. Well, I think let's just sum up this video because as I see it, very impressive car. The engine could be a lot better though. It just doesn't respond. Yeah, it's super damn slow. This car is going to sell really well, period. Because arena outlets are far more than Nexa. Maruti is going to utilize its massive distribution network to make this car a sales success. The Creta is definitely in danger right now. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. That's a like button, and let me know which Maruti car would you buy. Would you buy this, the Victoris, or would you buy the Grand Vitara instead? Or maybe you would buy the first or second copy from Toyota. Bye-bye.